Blunt, you are under arrest for the murder of Cindy Strauss.
I've always been attracted to police dramas. I just sort of got dropped into it, and, you know, and I got comfortable with the genre. I always tried to find playwrights and novelists and journalists and lawyers and doctors who wrote, because I always figured I could teach them the craft, but you want somebody who's lived an interesting life.
Steven and I met in 2010. He had read a script that I had written and asked to have a meeting with me, which I thought was just about the coolest thing.
Eric, for all of his youthfulness, you know, has had a very rich and varied life.
I didn't get out here until a few years ago, and so I had several careers before I even took a stab at writing a script. I constantly use my experiences personally in these different professions as I write.
Ready?
Michael Wright, who was the head of TNT, had talked to Steven about this idea of doing a long-form murder mystery. Genre was something that, frankly, Steven helped create.
2 o'clock. Front door, 10 seconds.
I don't have a formula for where I start. It tends to be different from show to show. Hill Street Blues sort of evolved organically. We wrote that script in about 8 or 9 days. Doogie Howser, my dad was a child prodigy, and I thought, what a good idea. You know, a kid who's so prematurely developed intellectually. With NYPD Blue, I pitched the idea of an R-rated cop show with language and nudity so that we could compete directly with cable.
I didn't do nothing. And why were you running?
Neither Steven or I were really thinking about doing a cop show. I think in Steven's case, he's done a few. I think he felt like he needed a way to see this world differently.
It's impossible not to steal from yourself. The stories you develop and the characters that evolve stay with you. Inevitably, what you learn when you're making a television series is that in the process of making episode after episode after episode, you learn more and more about your characters. You learn so much about the character just in the process of telling stories. You know, what if? Why? You know, why would that person behave that way?
What's their game? Let's go find out.
Every show that I have ever done, I have gone after experts in the field because there's no substitution for, you know, hands-on, real-life experience. The way the job impacts on their personal lives, on their marriages, on, you know, the suicide rates of cops is higher than normal. Alcoholism, you gotta surround yourself with the real deal. And to me, that was never a question.
I think San Francisco is a character in our show. Being a city of extremes, of highs and lows. You walk down one street and it's sunny, and you turn the corner and you're in a cloud of fog. All of these as thematics were appealing to us. What attracts people to murder mysteries and police drama is the fun of figuring out a mystery. Everybody loves a mystery. In terms of a police drama, seeing how people respond to cops when they're being questioned is always a fascinating thing.
They're reading you. They're waiting for you to talk. They know you have something to say, and when you do say it, you'll naturally make eye contact with one of them. That's the one you trust. Based on that, they will know which roles to play in this little chess game.
One of the fun things in our first season was we never told anybody. We never told anybody in the cast. Nobody knew. And so every week, as we published our scripts, various cast members would come to us and say, well, I did it, didn't I?
Right.
You know, you can tell me. It was me, wasn't it? You know, we always had so much fun with it because we would tell everybody a different story.
Writing to some degree is, you want to write like, is Darwinism, you know, survival of the fittest. And the way you survive is you really write to the actors and their strengths. What that does is empower the actors to then make